Okay, we're basically going to be putting together the carbon fibre frame now, which is page 9. Align recommend that you sand all the edges, so I'm just going to go away and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've laid out all my screws, all the parts, and about to attach it to the frame. So I'm going to put the blocks in first. Now, what you have to do is put this plate here that holds the bearing in towards the top. If you're ever in doubt which way something should go, always think the logo always points to the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and mount both of those in. Now I'm only going to nip those first just to make sure that they're perfectly aligned. So now I've got basically those two mounted in like that, with these bolts just barely nipped, and I'm going to put the main shaft through and make sure it just glides through on both, straight through on both, and as you can see it's perfect there. So I'm going to go and Loctite that one side up. Okay, I've Loctited those into place. Now I'm going to put the engine mount in as well. Just remember these ridges go upwards, so it's not that way to the top, it's that way to the top. So I'm going to put those in, Loctite them into position. Next I'm going to put the frame's mounting block, they call it, and put in the long screws here into that, because there's 2 of those left. There's 4 for the main bearing blocks and 2 for the engine mounts left, so it's got to be these 2 screws. So I'm about to mount that in and Loctite it into position. Okay, so that's all the metal bits in position. Now I'm going to put the plastic pieces on. So first I'm going to put the bottom plate on. It's a fairly snug, tight fit. And I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 bolts on just there. Okay, so I've got those 3 into position, and if you want you could actually probably pull those out and put a touch of CA in now that they're threaded correctly, and that should hold them into position. So I've got the tray into position now, or the receiver mount as they call it, and now I'm going to put the other side together, but I'm not going to Loctite this side at all, just in case I need to take it apart to do something. So one side is Loctite and the other side's not Loctited yet, and well, it's not even together yet, but I'm going to put it together without putting any Loctite on it. Okay, so now I've got the frame together. So we're just about to put the skids together, and just going to put those aside, and first going to take care of mounting these. Now you'll notice that they've got an angle to them. Okay, so as you look at them like that, there's a difference in angle. That one points to the front of the helicopter, so both of them have to be in this direction. Okay, so it leans forward. So basically turn your frame upside down and get them into position and put the bolts through. Okay, so you just make sure you got it the right way. Grab a bolt, and it's rather tight. you need to get the nut in there. This would be put the nut in first. Make sure the nut's seated in properly. And then repeat for the front. So there we have the landing gear mounted and ready to put the skids on, or the skid pipe. Okay, so basically just pass through the skid pipe. No rocket science with this one. Okay. What we want to do is basically position it in a spot where we can put the rubbers on without it being obstructed. So basically that's about, it only has to be approximately about 22 mil out from the back. And what you do is drop the set screws in there and just nip it down so that the pipe can't slide in and out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Once you've got the skids to exactly where you want them, of course you do the set screws up. I basically just measured off in this fashion here to 35.6. Do the same over there on the other one. I'd moved the rubbers away and just twisted it until I got that measurement in the back here. And I set the set screws and that was it. Now, everybody likes putting the skids on differently. Personally, I like putting them at an angle like that. So follow that straight down. Most people will put them straight up. That's fine. It probably looks better. I like putting them in like this. Personally, because if I'm indoors and I'm tilting the heli and I take off like this, I don't want the legs sticking out this way here. So while they're like that, it'll work quite happily, and it'll also work when you tilt up onto one leg at the front. So anyway, that's my method of madness to why I do it that way. You don't have to do it that way. Put the skids any way you like. And that's essentially it. Now all you need to do is put the ends on, bit of CA, put those into position, and you're done. If you don't put any CA on that, they will pop out and you'll be getting grass and all kinds of stuff in the pipes there.